What's happening, everyone? Davey Death Ray here, back hanging out with y'all to bring some more movie news to everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. You might be asking yourself, Davey, don't you do Hit the Bricks every other week? Don't you get enough of the news action? A little bit, but there's so much more that we're not able to cover there. We focus on usually a handful of stories, and when you got three dudes that love to talk about horror and love to talk about movies, you don't get to cover every single thing you want to cover. So, I'm thinking at least once a week I'll jump on here. I'll talk about some news that we missed on Hit the Bricks. And I've been having a great time covering the news with you guys live and, cutting up those videos, turning them into what I'm calling news bits. The news bits are actually doing pretty well. I figured, I like talking about this stuff. I like reading up on the news anyways. So I might as well do some live streams, make some, shorter content as well. Hopefully bring some more folks in and help grow this community. So let me know, guys, in the comments and in the chat what you think about the news bits. If you're enjoying having those stories broken up into just, individual little pieces. So you can, if you miss the live stream, you can just check out the stuff you actually care about. Let me know what you think. And of course, if you're watching this after the fact, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for jumping on in. We've got 14 people, and it's relatively early in the day. It's just after 3 p.m. out here in Arizona. So thank you so much for joining in. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. And of course, leave a comment if you've got something to say. And I guess without any further ado, I will say what's up to everyone hanging out in the chat, and then we'll get going on our news stories. It looks like I've got 9 stories I want to get to. I think I'm starting to figure out the format here, guys. So I do appreciate you guys joining in on these early runs as I get a little more comfortable with this whole thing. And you guys are awesome. We've got Chester Franklin Jr. kicking it with us. What's happening, Chester? So great to see you. We've got our great Patreon member and YouTube channel member, Dean Renner, in the house. What's happening, Dean? Hope you are doing well. King Matthew III is hanging. What's happening, King Matthew? And we've got Adrian James. How you doing, Adrian? So good to see you, man. Always a pleasure. Paula Fitzhenry, who sends me news almost every day, so I can make sure to not miss anything that would be something that I'm interested in. So thank you, Paula. Really appreciate that. We got Gory Tiger in the house. What's happening, Gory? So great to see you. Lamontre Gillard is in the chat. How are you doing, Lamontre? We've got Denise Wheat, another channel member and Patreon member. How are you doing, Denise? Hope the week is treating you well so far. Guys, are you not only pumped for Friday the 13th coming up here this week? How pumped are you for tomorrow's Late Night with the Davey, episode 47? Vincent DeSanti and Mark of Tales from the Shelf are going to be on to, close the book on the debate of what's better, the final chapter or Jason Lives. I'm so excited for this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, just in case you guys don't know, similarly to what we did with the Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day last time around, you guys are going to get a chance to vote for the winner of each category. So you're going to be able to give points in this one as well, and you will have a direct outcome as to, who ends up reigning supreme. I think they're both top-notch movies. I would say the two best in the Friday the 13th franchise, easy, would be the final chapter and Jason Lives. And we're going to find out which one is truly the best once and for all, ending the debate until next Friday the 13th, of course. Let's see who else we've got in the chat. It looks like I've said hello to most everyone here. We got Todd Bound in the chat. How are you doing, Todd? One of our great channel members. Foz Rotten is kicking it. Says, I need to know this movie news now. Yes, thank you, vidIQ, for the titles, so I don't have to think of a new title every time. We got Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members. Hope you're doing well, Antonis. Gene Whitacombe is in the chat. How are you doing, Gene? So good to see you. Space Hunter 83, what's happening? Always a pleasure to see you be able to join us live, good sir. Blazin Asian says, Davey is killing it with the live streams. Thank you so much, Blazin. Really appreciate that. And I've been trying to keep up on the shorts content, and not only cutting these little news segments up as pre-recorded videos, just for a lack of better term, but also doing some movie reviews. So if you guys haven't checked out my Dangerous Animals movie review, I also did that Karate Kid, that mid is all get out Karate Kid movie, and a handful of others. I've been going to the movies a lot lately, guys. Speaking of which, you guys, the last time I was live here on this channel, I think it was the last time I was live here, there was like a $5 super chat or something like that for me to go watch The Ritual in the theater. I believe Denise and I can't remember who else it was. 1 second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I'm gonna edit that as its own little short, just me sneezing. I think it might have been Brother Fluff and Denise that both contributed $5, and we met that goal. I'm going to see The Ritual tonight. I have a work meeting from 6 p.m. to 7:30, and then afterwards, I'm going to the theater to watch The Ritual, starring Al Pacino and Dan Stevens. I haven't heard anything good about it, guys. Let me check Rotten Tomatoes right now to see how bad it is. I wonder if it even has a percent yet. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's going to have a percent? Let's see here. Ooh, 7%. 7% of 55 reviews. 7% of critics say that it's fresh. Now, on the popcorn meter, there's 100 plus ratings, and it's at 64%. So that makes me feel like at least I'm not going to want to like yank my eyeballs out during the movie. But yeah, I'm going to be watching The Ritual later on tonight. I'll do an out of theater short, of course. I don't know if I'll do a review. If I actually have something to say about it, I'll do a review. But those take a long time. Not only just shooting, they take a little bit, but editing, they take, quite a bit of time. So not sure I'm that invested in doing a review of The Ritual, but I'll at least watch it and let you guys know what I think with a little short. We got Gina, Miss My Chunky Jordy. How you doing, Gina? So good to see you. And I don't know if I said this, but Blazin' Asian is also one of our great channel members. So thank you so much. I do not rest, Foz. You're absolutely right. Hit the Bricks is so much fun. I'm so pumped that I can't believe it's been 7 episodes already. Let me know in the chat if you guys are digging Hit the Bricks. I think it's going pretty well so far. Gory, thank you so much for asking. The AC is all fixed. The guy came, showed up at like 8 a.m. today and had it fixed within about 30 minutes. I slept over at my parents' house last night just so I could sleep in the comfort of the AC. But it was great because today I got in a workout. I was able to clean the bathroom. I did my laundry. And here I am hanging out with you guys before going to a work meeting and then checking out a movie later. So a very filled day. And I wouldn't have been able to do like any of this stuff if the AC was still broken. So thank you so much, AC guy. Really appreciate you. Yes, Linda, it is fixed. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing great. Thank you for kicking it with us. Yeah, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Show us some love. Yeah, everything's going great so far. Yeah, having a good week. So and just trying to make it better as we go. Yep, Jason Lives rules. Ooh, final chapter for the win. There we go. We got our guy Koi, Mr. Happy Sanjo in the chat. What's happening, Koi? One of our great channel members. Koi, I'm glad that you showed up. And this goes for everyone. So a while back, when Koi signed up to be I don't know, it wasn't you didn't ever do Patreon member, but Koi signed up for like the highest tier of our YouTube membership, which by the way, guys, for 99 cents a month, you can become a YouTube member. I know I missed last week. I'm so sorry, but I'll get a stream going this week for the members, of course. When you signed up, Koi, you had wanted me to review Daybreakers. I remember. I haven't forgotten. I want to float an idea out to you. Something I'm doing with Trisha McMasters because she also signed up for that. She wanted me to watch and review The Collector. Now, I watched it, but I never reviewed it. However, I'm bringing Trisha on to the channel. We're going to do a live review and discussion about the film. And I thought that might even be cooler than me just doing a straight up review of the film, would be to bring on that person, if they would want to appear on a live stream. And Koi, since I know you're doing your own thing over there at the channel, over at Happy Sanjo, guys, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and sub over to Koi's channel. Yeah, if you want to, talk about Daybreakers with me. And we'll still do like a review. We can dive in with a little bit of a deeper discussion, maybe go like an hour and a half, something like that. Just let me know. I thought that would be kind of a cool way to, if somebody ends up purchasing that higher tier membership, to give them that opportunity to actually appear and discuss the movie with me. So let me know what you think. I know that was kind of long-winded, but there we go. Prince, what's happening, bud? How you doing? So good to see ya. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anyone else. Yeah, hopefully I don't fall asleep. Actually, in the interest of not falling asleep, guys, because it is very warm here and I have a lot of driving to do to get to work. It's 106 now proper, actually 107. So it's probably about 115 is probably the real feel. And then when you're in your car, terrible. Yeah, just 7% is pretty rough. I got something to say. Your movie sucked today. And it doesn't matter much to me because I have AMC A-list. Down. There we go. We got Jamie Hart, one of our great channel members, and Death Squad mods. Hope you're doing well, Jamie. So good to see you. We got Good Real Hunting, Mr. Brett from Good Real Hunting. I'm going to call you Mr. Brett from now on. I don't know if you know this, Brett. I don't know if you're a Bad Religion fan. But Brett Gierowitz from Bad Religion, who also owns Epitaph Records, his nickname is Mr. Brett. One of our great channel members and another Death Squad mod right there. Hope you're doing well, Brett. Hope vacation was awesome and that you're rested and ready to friggin' go. Coy's going to see Ballerina later. Do you guys want me to see that? How about this? Let's have some fun. I know I'm going to get to the news. Don't worry about it. If you only showed up for the news and you thought that I was like not going to talk about other bullshit, welcome to the Davey Death Ray channel, first and foremost. Second, feel free to bail on the live stream and then just watch them as I release the story or as I release the news bits individually. So you don't have to hang around if you don't want to. Let's see here. 5 super chats of $2 or more. If you guys want me to see, I'll watch and review Ballerina. Let me know, guys. No big deal if you don't want me to. I'm sort of torn on whether to watch it anyways. My Mission Impossible review didn't do anything. It sputtered, so I'm sort of like, well, I'll still watch those movies. I can talk about them, of course, but as far as reviews, maybe with the review stuff, I do need to just stick to kind of the stuff that you guys are interested in, more of the horror stuff. But if we can do 5 super chats of $2 or more, let's see here. Yeah, there we go. 5. Should I do 5 or 10? I'll do 5 super chats of $2 or more. I'm not going to be a jerk about it. There we go. There we are. And then, guys, another thing that we've got here in the chat is a poll about what you want to do. I can't figure out what the hell to do on Friday the 13th. I know Slaughtered Lamb, they're doing a trivia on Thursday. So I'm like, I don't want to do a trivia. Maybe I'll do a members only Friday the 13th trivia and just try to make sure I'm not doing any questions that they've already asked on theirs. By the way, you may see a little Davey Death Ray guest appearance on the Slaughtered Lamb for that Friday the 13th trivia on Thursday. So keep an eye out. You may just see one. But yeah, I've got a poll, guys, in the chat. What do you guys want to see for Friday the 13th live stream? Watch party, Friday the 13th focused topical discussion, or too many streams take the day off. So 50% of you want the focused topical discussion. 45% say watch party. 5% say just leave me alone about it, Davey. You don't need to keep on doing shit. Cool. If focused topical discussion wins, then I'll put out a poll for everyone to vote on that'll just list a few topics that you guys can pick from, and maybe we'll hit up all 3, but we'll for sure get to that one that ends up winning that poll. So yeah, if you're hanging out, make sure you click that like button and partake in the poll. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anyone else. Logan Reynolds in the chat. What's happening, Logan? So great to see you, bud. Thanks for kicking it with us. We got Joel from Dark Room Reviews in the house. What's happening, Joel? Yeah, Jamie, I've heard really good things about it. So, and I've never seen it before. And it looks like Koi is down for that. Okay, we'll talk offline and we'll set something up. Jiminy Christmas. Come on, Davey. I guess I need this coffee, huh? There you go. Can call you Mr. Brett. Perfect. Yeah, Blazing Asian knows what's up. Bad Religion. That's what's happening. Dean's channel is killing it. Enter the Cinevault. Check it out, guys, if you haven't already. Encourage him to really keep on keeping on, Dean. Gene says, I can't decide between Jason Lives and the final chapter. They're both great. I totally agree. The cool thing is, Gene, if you hang out with us on Wednesday night, we're going to break things down between 8 different categories. So you don't even have to think about it as like, what movie do I like more? It'll just be like, what movie has the better story? What movie has the better final girl or final guy? What movie has the better portrayal of Jason? So you could just award, one of the movies a winner for each category. And then at the end, we'll tally everything up and we'll just let the chips fall where they may. And just so you guys know, just because I prefer a movie more than the other doesn't mean that I award all the points that way. I prefer the Terminator to Terminator 2, but Terminator 2 ended up winning, and part of that was that it won out on some of those categories for me. So even though as a whole, with each film, I preferred the Terminator more, I've got to award the point to the movie that performs in the category better. T2 ended up winning. So what can you do? We got Wilkie's Movies and Music. What's happening, Wilkie? How are you doing? Or I believe your name is Corey, but I just like calling people by their screen name. So hope you're doing well. It was fun being able to catch your lunchtime chat earlier while I was prepping stuff for the stream and all that kind of fun stuff. So thank you so much for kicking it with us, man. Antonis Andriotis drops a member chat, been a member for 5 months, says, when will we get a Thanksgiving 2 update? Because now I'm losing hope that it won't make its 2025 release date. I'm concerned too, Antonis. I wish I had an in on any of that information. I believe the last time I heard they were shooting in March, but I haven't heard anything since then. It's still possible to get it out, in time for Thanksgiving. But man, if we don't hear, I would imagine we would want a trailer, at least a teaser by July, probably, right? And then a full trailer late August, something like that. So yeah, I don't know. What's happening, Brad? Hope you are doing well. Let's watch the final chapter. So that's what Brad wants to do. So watch party and focus discussion are tied at 48%. Too many streams take the day off, Davey, is just 4%. So we got a tie, guys. So if you haven't voted in the poll, go ahead and vote in the poll. Okay. Let me have another sip of coffee. We got 24 people hanging out here. That is awesome. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for spending part of your afternoon and or early evening with me. You guys are killer. We've got 17 likes, but 24 people hanging out. So I know we can do it. Let's see here. When it comes to stuff like Mission Impossible reviews, I really enjoyed it, but you have to pump out action films for a while to get. Yeah, for sure. It's just something I don't really cover very much on the channel. So yeah. But if you guys want me to watch Ballerina and review it, go ahead and let me know. I might still watch it. I just don't know if I do a review. What's up, Manny's Manic Media? How you doing? Great to see ya. Wow, 27 people kicking it with us. You guys are amazing. Let's go ahead and get into the movie news. Okay, are you guys ready? Well, and I guess it's movie news and more, because our first couple, and I think this is how I'm going to do it, guys. The first couple of news stories will be the and more. They'll be relatively short. Then I'll get in the stories that I think are like the bigger ones, and then we'll have some extra stuff here at the end. I think all the stories we have are actually, there's nothing that's like BS to me. So I'm really excited for this one. Yeah, let's get this going. Yeah, you're not the only one. Gina doesn't really like them. I think Koi is sort of like on them. I get it. If you're not going to watch the movie along, it's sort of just like listening to a running commentary with a lot of gaps. So I totally get it. I'm not like falling out of love with them, but I'm sure you guys have noticed I'm trying to do other things so that watch parties, like sometimes I'm just like, oh, I haven't streamed in a few days. A watch party's easy, But yeah, I'm trying to fill the time up with more substantial kind of streams and stuff like that. All right, so yeah, and more. Yes, exactly, Dean. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's get this cooking. So our first little, well, wait, let me do it proper. There we go. There it is, guys. All right, so yeah, there's a brand new Terrifier game coming out that's like a, 16-bit. Here, I'm going to restart all that. Don't worry, I'll cut this up. Get the heck out of there, ad. Oh, come on. Why, guys, why do the ads have to be all over the place? I guess I should just use Brave permanently, huh? Permanently. And guys, let me know, because I had that weird issue before where it made my microphone wig out when I switched over to the website. So I'm going to jump back over to you guys and make sure that everything's still sounding good. Everything's still sounding good? Let me know. We got Jason from Backtrack Cinema in the house. What's happening? They are more fun when you host them. Admittedly, I always have a good time with live parties, but watch parties, but I totally get it. Like, if it ain't your thing, I totally get it. Okay, let's go ahead. I just want to make sure everything sounds good. All right, cool. Space Hunter says sounds good. Okay, guys, so here we go officially. So yeah, guys, we've got a brand new Terrifier video game coming out called Terrifier, the arcade game. And there's a demo available. So, this is like, I feel like there's been a really big resurgence of these types of games. There was, Kevin Smith even put one out that was like a Mallrats themed, View Askewniverse side scroll beat 'em up. The Ninja Turtles just had a newer one come out a few years ago that I really enjoy. And now we're, we just got The Evil Dead and Halloween. Just did like a 1-2 punch, like both of them combined. And here we are, a very similar kind of game in the vein of, Final Fight, Double Dragon, that kind of thing, but with a little bit more of a cartoony style. And yeah, this one is all centered around the world of Damien Leone's Terrifier. So let's go ahead and read a little bit of the article here. We won't read the entire thing, but I will show. I won't play the sound from the demo, but I'll show you guys a little bit from the trailer. I'll show you a little bit of that trailer, and of course you can, check out more of that online if you wish. So the article says, if you were itching to give Terrifier, the arcade game, a try before it releases, your wish is granted. Select to Play as revealed demos are available now on Steam, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation. Accompanying the release of the demo is a new trailer. Players can now step into the twisted world of Art the Clown in this blood-soaked retro beat-em-up inspired by the arcade classics of the 80s and 90s. The demos will be playable for a limited time, so get in your playtime now. So, the game, I'm sure you can assume what the game's going to be all about, but they say here you get to step into the oversized, blood-splattered shoes of Art the Clown in this old-school arcade-style beat-em-up inspired by the most brutal horror games of the 80s and 90s. But don't expect a scripted scream fest, as Art carves his own path of chaos, gutting cops, mangling stunt performers, and terrorizing film sets with his signature blend of sadistic humor and nightmarish brutality. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and check out the little demo trailer. Hopefully they don't copyright me just for showing this off without any music. So yeah, there's going to be multiple playable characters. I would imagine you have to beat the game with Art first, and then we're going to see the little pale girl is there as well. So maybe she's a playable character. I would imagine Sienna Shaw is going to be unlockable as well, and maybe Victoria. I guess that would be the four. If they're going to unlock 4, Art, little pale girl, Sienna, and Vicky would be the way to go. So we get a little black and white shot there. Yeah, blood splattering all over the screen. It looks like a fun time. These games, admittedly, for me, it's all about like how much I enjoy the IP. Like when it comes to Ninja Turtles, I'm going to buy this kind of stuff all the time. With the Halloween and the Evil Dead games, I didn't get those. They're a little bit different. They're not beat 'em ups, but this whole like retro style, I'm just like, how much does it really fit, like, you know, how much does it really fit my interests, and how much fun can you have from these games? I mean, are they just like kind of single servings? I don't know. I'm sure this is a really fun game, especially for folks that are massive Terrifier fans, and especially for younger people who love Terrifier that didn't grow up with these games. So this whole idea is like much more novel to them now, you know? So I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat for those of you that are live, and for everyone watching after the fact, let me know down in the comments below, is this a video game that you're interested in purchasing either for Steam, PlayStation, or Switch? I think it's awesome that Nintendo is making this one available. That makes me far more likely to, you know, give it a shot, at least try out the demo. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of Terrifier, the arcade game. All right, I'm going to get into some of your guys' thoughts here in the chat. And yeah, if you guys are like, why is he quiet for a few seconds? It's just so when I cut it up later, it's a lot easier for me to do a straight up fade out. So it's totally me being a host, as it were. Let's see here. Holy cow, Manny's Manic Media just purchased a Davey Death Ray YouTube membership. Thank you so much, Manny. Really appreciate you. Blazin' Asian with the $2 super chat. Guys, we're a fifth of the way to our super chat goal for me to watch and review Ballerina. Blazin' Asian asks, sir, serious question. Bad Religion or Descendants? Yeah, Blazin', for this one's very easy for me. I would take the Descendants all day. And I do really love Bad Religion quite a bit, but Descendants, I love how angular they are, how different they are from everything. You know, there's just not many bands that sound like Descendants, whereas Bad Religion's sound is a bit more, not to say that it's not unique. They got the oohs and the ahs and all that kind of fun stuff. There's something about Descendants where they could write this really beautiful surfy pop song about like a great love song, and then they can have this wild 30-second angular progressive punk song that's about like food or coffee or you're having a bad day. I love what the Descendants do, and I'm a massive All fan as well. That's the tougher thing for me to pick, is All or Descendants, but I'd probably lean more towards All. Let's see here. The Terrifier demo is cool, so Koi's already played it. There you go. Space Hunter says, love retro games, so it gets my attention. We got M from Horror Her in the house. Hope your move and all that kind of stuff is going well, M. I know you've been itching to get back into the swing of things. Guys, if you have not checked out Horror Her here on YouTube, go check the channel out. Think about giving her a sub. She's got an amazing voice. Like, you are going to want to listen to this voice talk about horror. That's all I got to say. Great accent, great voice. Couldn't recommend her enough. And she knows what she's talking about. So good points all around. Gina says, I'm not in a Terrifier, saw All Hallows Eve and the kill counts of others. That's enough for me. Yeah, I mean, it seems the game will be like pretty fun though, right? Blazin' bought the Evil Dead and Halloween games. They got them. Yeah, I'm not, you know, there's no judgment or anything. Sometimes I just see those games and I'm like, what does this really have to do with Halloween or Evil Dead? Like, I mean, it looks fun, don't get me wrong, but like, what does it really have to do with it? Yeah, no, I hear you. And I would just play the Ninja Turtles because it looks almost the same. The art style looks a little worse, but I would imagine that it's all done with purpose for sure. I like that the game is different. Probably something I would play for an hour or so when chilling. Yeah. There you go. People are into this. People are into it. Except for Antonis Andriotis and Gina. Yeah, Descendants all the way. That's the way to go. Nice. Going to see Life of Chuck on Thursday. Bring your tissues, Jason. I've heard it's a sad one. Gina dropping the £2 super chat. So, guys, we are 2/5, 40% of the way there for me to watch and review Ballerina. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jamie. Really appreciate you. The move was a stress, but we're in and getting there. As always, thank you for the shout out and compliments. You're too kind. And you know, Em, I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it, but I do love that we, you know, promote people's channels here, and that, you know, our mods like Jamie are so quick to share the links and everything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to you kind of just getting up and rolling, and then when you're ready, let's bring you on Late Night with the Davey. We can do a before dark episode, so it's late night for you guys out there and middle of the day for us out here stateside. Okay, guys, are we ready for our next story? I think we are, and this is going to be another kind of quick one. Let's see here. Of course, I need to get rid of this ad. These pesky ads, guys. What is going on? There we are. All right, guys, so we've got our first clip from Twisted Metal Season 2, the Peacock show starring Anthony Mackie. Guys, what did you think of the first season of Twisted Metal? I quite enjoyed it. I liked it quite a damn bit. And the biggest complaint that I heard is that it wasn't so much like the video game, but it looks like here from the clip that we've got of Season 2, it looks like we are getting into some video game action. So, look, we've got, so let's see here. We got Sweet Tooth with the head on fire there. And let's read a little bit of this story from Alex DiVincenzo. So John Doe and Quiet join Sweet Tooth and other marauders in a deadly demolition derby set to Rob Zombie's Dragula in the clip from Twisted Metal Season 2 below. Back on the classic PlayStation game series, the high-octane action comedy series returns to Peacock on July 31st. Following the revelations of the first season finale, John and Quiet find themselves entering the deadly Twisted Metal tournament, a sinister demolition derby hosted by a mysterious man known as Calypso. As they try to survive an onslaught of dangerous new foes and familiar faces alike, including the murderous clown Sweet Tooth, things get complicated for John when he reunites with his long-lost sister, the vigilante Dollface. So yeah, again, I'll play this for you guys, but there's not going to be any sound or anything like that. Well, there we go. I got the sound clipped out there, so hopefully nothing gets hit. At least I took the sound out before Rob Zombie started there. Yeah, so we get to see, and I watched this earlier just to kind of know what we were getting into. I sort of wish that we saw a little bit more of like the arena. They're pretty much just driving on it looks like a tarmac, just like a landing strip, so to speak. But I would imagine in the actual television show, we are going to see some arena action there. Love being able to see Axel. I believe that's the name, right? The guy with the giant wheels man. And admittedly, guys, I pretty much just played like the second Twisted Metal game was my favorite out of all of them. But I think I played the first few in the series. So I dug the sense of humor in the first season. I thought Anthony Mackie was great. I really liked Jared Bankins. That's what kind of put him on my map, and why I want him still to this day to play Freddy Krueger. If you haven't checked out my video on that, you should check that out. I think Jared Bankins would be excellent for Freddy. But yeah, we see a little bit more action here that looks more reminiscent of the video game. So yeah, just let me know in the comments and in the live chat here if you guys were fans of that first season of Twisted Metal, and if you're looking forward to this second season here as well. I would imagine even the folks that were kind of lukewarm on the first season might like this season more, since it's given us more of what the video games gave us. So let me know, guys. And let's jump on into the chat here and see what you guys got. I only own a Sega Mega Drive and an Xbox 360 I won't be playing. Oh my God, I love the Mega Drive. We call it the Genesis out here, Gina. That's one of my favorite systems of all time. Let's see what else we got. Love the game back in the day. Never watched the show. I liked it. I'd recommend it. It's funny. Funny stuff. Linda, loved the first season and super hyped for season 2. And we got Robert the Wolfman. Ow, ow. One of our great channel members and Death Squad mods and a fellow teammate of mine over at the Horror Show channel. How are you doing, Robert? So great to see you. Let's see here. I hope season 2 is as good as the first. Yeah, and hopefully better, right? You've already got the foundation, so you can build off the foundation. You can dive more into the video game lore. And I don't know. I think Anthony Mackie's really charming. So I think they've got something here. Space Hunter 83 drops a 199-pound super chat and says, hitting the sack, dude. Go buy some nachos. Yes, nachos are the bane of my movie theater going life. Oh my gosh, friggin' nachos. They're so loud, the nachos. Why do they allow them in the theater? Only popcorn should be the loudest food allowed at the theater. The loudest allowed. Let's see here. That's 3 out of 5. We're 60% there, guys, for the super chat goal to make me watch and review Ballerina. And then with our, let's see here, 28 votes on our poll, 50% is the focused topical discussion on Friday the 13th. That's the one winning right now. 43% for a watch party. 7% of people just want me to get the hell out of their face and leave them alone on Friday the 13th, which I totally understand. No offense taken. Earthworm Jim is great. Love Earthworm Jim. Yeah. I'm game to check the show out, being as I have Peacock and all. Yeah. You should check it out, Dean. I dig it. Sleep well, Em. We'll talk soon. Nachos. Nachos are too loud for anything outside an action movie. I said it. Yeah, eat your nachos at home and leave me out of it is the way that I feel about nachos. Like, I don't want to be part of your nacho eating experience. And maybe at a restaurant it's acceptable because there's enough noise, but leave me alone about your friggin', nacho eating. You bastards. All right, let's see here. I got about 45 minutes to get through the rest of this. Maybe a little bit longer. Just don't want to be rushed for work and everything. And guys, so let's see here. This is a story that we were meant to cover yesterday and we just didn't get to it on Hit the Bricks. So guys, yeah, a brand new Alien Earth official trailer has been released and it unleashes monsters from the darkest corners of the universe. So we all know about this Alien Earth TV show that's coming out. The article says the Alien franchise comes to Earth and the small screen for the very first time in Alien Earth, and the official trailer for creator Noah Hawley's series has arrived this morning. This was days ago. Alien Earth will premiere with the horror series' first 2 episodes on August 12th at 8 p.m. on FX and Hulu in the US and Disney Plus internationally. New episodes will follow weekly on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. through September 23rd. Watch the official trailer down below. And I guess I can show some of the trailer here. But yeah, basically what's going to be happening with the show, the article continues to say, Alien Earth is set before the events of the original Alien in 2120. A ship charged with collecting monsters from the darkest corners of the universe crash lands on Earth, and one of the monsters is, of course, the legendary Xenomorph. But the Alien Earth trailer makes it clear that it's not the only monster our human and android characters will have to deal with. So, yeah, let me just make sure it's muted there, and I'll just kind of let that play. Yeah, I mean, Timothy Oliphant is in this. Let's see if I recognize anyone else's. I don't recognize anyone else's names, but that doesn't say much because, guys, I'm so out of it. Yeah, this, I guess it depends on how you feel about the Alien franchise. Last week I was talking about how not every IP needs a cinematic universe and all that. I really enjoy the first 2 Alien movies, and I thought Romulus was fine. It was good. It didn't blow me away. I liked a lot of what Prometheus had to offer, but didn't think, it's far from perfect, but I really liked kind of where it was going, a little more on the cerebral side of things. Couldn't stand Alien Covenant. I thought that was total trash. And yeah, I guess with this TV show, I'll be willing to give it a shot to see, because it looks like they're capturing the mood of the first 2 movies quite a bit. Also, the mood of Romulus, because I think Romulus did a really good job of, kind of recreating that feel from the first 2 films. And, with the spin of it being on Earth, maybe they'll give us something that'll be, a bit more exciting, or just a bit more, I don't know, philosophical, interesting. Hopefully they, some sort of commentary on you know, as far like what we do as far as like, you know, playing God or venturing into territories we have no business venturing into. So yeah, this one, it looks pretty interesting to me. I'm curious to know how violent it gets. I think that'll be very interesting to see for sure, because it is FX, so they'll be able to push things a bit further. But yeah, guys, let me know in the chat if you're watching live, and if you're watching after the fact, let me know your thoughts in the comments as far as all things Alien Earth. All right, let's see what you guys have to say about this one. Lee from Drum Dums, he's a nacho eater, dude. He's a friggin' nacho eater. We have, yeah, it's one of the things I just don't understand. Be right back, starting a petition against nachos. Hey, speaking of petitions, the one to save the Monroeville Mall from Dawn of the Dead has really gained some steam. When I signed it, it was at like 3,500 signatures. It's passed like, at this point, it might be pretty close to like 7,000. It picked up a lot of steam over the weekend because, you know, Bloody Disgusting put out the article. Trick or Treat Studios like shared the article. I shared the article, so maybe we added a handful of signatures there. So yeah, speaking of petitions, I don't know if that's, you know, not every petition like matters in the grand scheme of things, but let's do that though. Let's start a petition against nachos. That's the way to go. Gina says, sorry, Davey, but I always used to eat nachos at my cinema along with hot dogs and popcorn. Well, hey, as long as you're not disturbing my cinematic experience, you're fine. So no worries, Gina. Movie theater nachos are so good. They might be good. I think they're inappropriate to eat because they're too loud. They're just too loud. Todd says, I'll give the series a shot, but honestly, my expectations aren't that high. Yeah. Theater nachos are never good, those grainy chips. Well, now Nick from the Lost River Drive-In has said, I don't know if it's a specific, if it's Regal or if it's Harkins or whatever. I usually go to AMC, but I haven't had the nachos. But wherever he's going, they are these gluten-free nachos. And he says they're terrible. They are sharp. They can be a danger. And they're rough like sandpaper. So all that stuff. I like nachos, but I prefer Dorito chips. There you go. Blake says, happy Pride Month, everyone. I'm gay for Friday the 13th. I think everyone is. Everyone in the horror community is, you know, got the super hots for Friday the 13th. Petitions that didn't matter. The petition on H Kills to remove the firefighter scene. What a joke. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know there was a petition. I just thought there were people complaining about it for some dumb reason. Holy cow, everyone. Gina drops a £2 super chat, and with that we are 80% of the way there for our make me watch and review Ballerina, the new series in the John Wick universe. Speaking of cinematic universes that necessarily don't need to exist, but hey, this one stars Ana de Armas kicking a bunch of ass, and I've got AMC A-list, so I guess it would be fun to watch it anyways. And if you guys want me to review it, we just need one more $2 or more super chat. And jumping into our poll really quick here, guys. What do you guys want to see for a Friday the 13th live stream? 52% are saying focused topical discussion at 29 votes. So it looks like that one is going to win. And yeah, I guess that just means I have to figure out what kind of topic you guys want to discuss. So keep an eye out for a poll. And not that kind of poll, Blake. Come on. And look at that. Dean Renner dropped a $1.99. That reaches the super chat goal. Look at that. 5 out of 5. I'll watch and review Ballerina. Hell yeah. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for making all of my dreams come true and fulfilling the super chat. If some of you missed it earlier today, I'm going to go watch that 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, The Ritual with Al Pacino and Dan Stevens later on tonight because you guys fulfilled a super chat goal. So sometimes you guys are the reason for the season. There you go. Well, it is going to be a live stream, Antonis. It's just, it wouldn't be a watch party. So it'll still be a live stream where we, you know, all of us discuss a topic around the Friday the 13th franchise. So yeah, no worries. We can still go live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Okay, let's move on to our next News story? How about that? At the beginning of the stream, I needed more coffee, and then now halfway through, maybe I've had too much. Who knows, guys? Who knows? But we did get this news just slid in 2 hours ago. So, guys, this is kind of like a breaking little bit of news. We've got some movement on Mike Flanagan's Carrie and the casting news. So yeah, guys, this news just broke. Mike Flanagan's Carrie has added Heather Graham, Kate Siegel, Rahul Kohli, and Katie Sackhoff, and more to the cast. So we just keep on getting Mike Flanagan news like every day. The guy's got so many irons in the fire. It's crazy. I know some folks, you know, are maybe a little bit, maybe not upset, but bummed out that his Exorcist project is getting pushed back because of this limited series of Carrie that's going to go to Prime Video. But hey, Kate Siegel, of course she's going to be in there, right? Isn't she married to Mike Flanagan? But Katie Sackhoff, I really like Katie Sackhoff quite a bit. And I think Heather Graham is kind of having a bit of a renaissance. Suitable Flesh wasn't really my type of movie, but she was pretty solid for what she was given there. And, you know, I think I just think it's really interesting to see actors and actresses kind of dive into genre work when they're, you know, out of the prime part of their career. You know, I mean, clearly it's not what made Heather Graham famous, but it's cool to see her jump into this kind of work. And yeah, this could be, it's just good news that the show keeps on adding actors and actresses of note. So the article here says, this one is from Alex DiVincenzo. What's happening, Alex? It says 14 recurring guest stars have joined Carrie, Mike Flanagan's series adaptation of Stephen King's 1974 novel, for Prime Video. Flanagan will reunite with frequent collaborators Kate Siegel, Michael Trucco, Katie Sackhoff, Rahul Kohli, Crystal Balint, and Danielle Clout on the project. New additions to his circle include Heather Graham, Tim Bagley, Tamo Penniket, Mapuana Makaya, Nika Toussaint, Delaney Hales, Cassandra Naud, and newcomer Rowan Danielle. I am so bad at reading actors and actresses' names off the cuff. If I've mispronounced your name and you're watching this video, wow, thank you for catching the video, and I'm so sorry. The article goes on to say about the show that it's described as a bold and timely reimagining of King's classic story, and the 8-episode series is produced by Amazon MGM Studios. So yeah, you guys all know the story of Carrie. Misfit high schooler Carrie White has spent her life in seclusion with her domineering mother. After her father's sudden and untimely death, Carrie finds herself contending with the alien landscape of public high school, a bullying scandal that shatters her community, and the emergence of mysterious telekinetic powers. So, yeah, it just seems like every few days we're getting some more news about these Mike Flanagan projects, which doesn't surprise me because he is one of the hottest names in horror lately. But guys, let me know in the chat if you're hanging out, or let me know if you're watching after the fact down in the comments how you're feeling about, you know, the casting news, of course, but how are you feeling about the Carrie Prime Video series coming up? Are you bummed out that it's pushing back his Exorcist project? Are you excited for this one? Do you think they're going to be able to dive into some territory we haven't seen before? Because Carrie's been made and remade a couple times. I'm curious to know what they're going to bring in from the book. I've never read the book, but I'm curious. I would imagine with 8 episodes, we're going to see some things that we haven't seen before in the visual telling of the Carrie story. So let me know in the comments down below, guys. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Heather Graham is hilarious in License to Drive. Oh, love her in License to Drive. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow's fun. The second Austin Powers movie, The Spy Who Shagged Me, that's my favorite of all 3 of them. I think she's great there. One of my favorite Heather Graham gigs is in the movie with Sandler and Nicholson. What the hell is it called again? Anger Management? There you go. Jamie got it. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know she was in that. I've never seen that movie. Guys, I've never seen Boogie Nights. Like, I mean, I know, like, I've seen scenes from it. I know what it's like all about and everything. I was just like maybe a little young when it came out, just like young enough to where I couldn't see it in the theater. And then it just kind of passed me by. I never went back, you know, never went back. What's happening, Melissa? So great to see you. I hope you're doing well. Guys, we have 24 people watching. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please go ahead and do that. And if you haven't partook in the poll, go ahead and vote in the poll for what you want to see on Friday the 13th. I might go a little early in the day because I know there's going to be so much going on at night. So it will be a stream where our folks across the pond can enjoy. So Gina, set aside some time, and it won't be, well, looks like it won't be a watch party. 52%, yeah. So it looks like it will be a Friday the 13th focused topical discussion is what we're looking at so far. Yeah, it's the best one, Antonis. It just is the best one. What? You need to see Boogie Nights, Davey. You'll love it. It's so good. Long shots like Scorsese. Sweet. Yeah, I have no doubt that it's really damn good. I just need to actually sit down and watch it. I don't like clowns, but I'm going to watch Clown in a Cornfield later on demand. Yeah, well, okay. I'm wishing you luck, Melissa, not because I think it's a bad movie. I thought it was like just a, decent movie. If you have a tough time with clowns, this one's going to push your buttons for sure. So that's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah. So just be on the lookout for that. It lost me halfway through. It didn't lose me halfway through, Dean, but for somebody that's afraid of clowns, I think it definitely ramps up the clown fear about halfway through. And I do really like what's his name's performance, Kevin Durand from he was in Abigail last year. I think he's great in Clown in a Cornfield. Loved him so much. Here's Shitty. What's happening, Shitty? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you know what? You're just gonna have to get over that fear. That's just what's gonna happen when you watch Clown in a Cornfield there, Melissa. Yeah, folks, look at that. 27 people. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for spending some of your time today with me here. I'm all ramped up on my cold brew. So yeah, he does kind of look like Elon. Yeah, that's the one. What's happening, Ashton? So good to see you. Guys, for those of you that are new in the stream, hit the like button, partake in the poll, help us decide what to do on Friday the 13th. And I'm going to get things going for the next... Ooh, we have like a cool little... a little bit of a 1-2 punch here with stories that I'm kind of excited about. Actually, I'm really excited about. Can I just blow the anticipation anymore for you guys? Let me go ahead and bring up the cool little banner. All right, folks. So we've got 2 new Jaws related documentaries coming out. Now there's the big Jaws documentary that's dropping with the 50th anniversary. I believe it's a 4K that's coming out, where we're going to see some footage we've never seen before. That's already finished. It's going to be included in that new release coming out. But we've got a couple other documentaries that are in the wings here. This one here, The Farmer and the Shark, a unique Jaws documentary premiering this summer. And I'm really interested in this one, guys. If you don't know this about me, Jaws is my favorite film of all time. I absolutely adore it. To me, it is thrilling, suspenseful, dramatic, horrific, and even comedic in certain points. So it kind of has everything. And it's a movie that not only helped me fall in love with film when I was a kid, I think I saw it when I was about 4 or 5, like 86 or 87. It made me fall in love with sharks. Like, I started reading about sharks, checking out the National Geographic VHS tapes from the library. This is long before Shark Week ever existed. So I'm really excited for these 2 documentaries, specifically this first one here, The Farmer and the Shark. And I'll just go ahead and read what we've got here. John Squires wrote the story. It says, celebrating 50 years of the blockbuster classic Jaws, a documentary titled The Farmer and the Shark is on the way from director John Campopiano. He also did Pennywise, The Story of It, Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the Robert Englund story. This was first announced on Deadline today, and this particular Jaws-related documentary is taking a very interesting approach, putting the spotlight on the late Martha's Vineyard resident by the name of Craig Kingsbury. The director tells us the farmer piece of our film is the late Craig Kingsbury, who lived a truly remarkable life. We're telling his story within the context of the making of Jaws on Martha's Vineyard in 1974. Craig was Robert Shaw's inspiration for his iconic portrayal of Quint. Craig was originally hired by the production to train Shaw, but because his impact was so greatly felt, Spielberg gave him the on-camera role as doomed fisherman Ben Gardner. So that's a really interesting little piece, that this guy was basically a consultant, like a character consultant, so they could really make sure that, you know, Quint was the salty fisherman that he needed to be for the project. And the documentary focuses on the unique influence Kingsbury had on the film from both behind and in front of the camera. Along the way, we also learn of the many island folks, island locals whose ocean savvy and ingenuity were instrumental in transforming Jaws from a potential failure to the paradigm of the summer blockbuster. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be, you know, conversations with his family members, never before seen interviews with many local and Hollywood tradesmen and artisans who worked on the film. So I'm very intrigued just to get to know a little bit more about Craig Kingsbury. This is like the kind of story that is so cool to see come out. You know, here we are celebrating 50 years of Jaws on June 20th. And just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, just when you thought you knew everything about this movie that's 50 years old and it was the original summer blockbuster, all that kind of stuff, you know, just another layer is peeled back. And I believe I've, you know, heard about Craig before, just sort of in passing. People would mention that, you know, that Robert Shaw did study with an actual fisherman, but it's going to be awesome to see a full-length documentary, spend some time like really, you know, familiarizing the fandom with somebody who had such a, you know, an instrumental part to play in, you know, bringing Quint to life. And it sounds like just, you know, providing a more authentic feel overall. So I think this is really cool. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in checking out The Farmer and the Shark. If you're a Jaws fan, let me know. I can always, you know, talk shop with other Jaws fans. And yeah, let me know what you think about, you know, shining the light on, I don't know, maybe unsung hero is a bit too much, but like shining the light on someone who just hasn't had their day yet. I think it's, I think this is like this is a cool kind of thing that a successful film like Jaws can just continue to do as the years go on. So guys, yeah, let me know in the comments. And then we're going to move on over to this one, which is, I don't know. I'm curious about this one as well, but in a little bit of a different way. Jaws Goes to the Bahamas documentary reveals poster, and the Sharknado director joins the production. So clearly this image here is some sort of AI or something like that. It looks like a blow-up doll in this image. It just doesn't look, it looks odd. But yeah, this is a documentary about Jaws the Revenge. And I would imagine when I first watched the original Jaws, I was 5 when Jaws the Revenge came out. So it was probably because of the advertisements for Jaws the Revenge that my family showed me the original Jaws. I'm guessing. My memory isn't that clear going that far back. And yeah, Jaws the Revenge, guys, it's a total mess. I still think it's better than Jaws 3D. I think Jaws 3D is like painful to watch, and at least Jaws the Revenge is like entertainingly bad, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But let's read a little bit about what Alex DiVincenzo has to say about Jaws Goes to the Bahamas. All right, so Voight Comfort Productions has revealed the poster for Jaws Goes to the Bahamas, a documentary celebrating Jaws the Revenge featuring new interviews with the cast and crew. We've also learned that Sharknado director Anthony C. Ferrante has joined the project as an executive producer and interview subject. Directed by Mike Gencarelli, The doc is aiming for a release in July 2027, marking 40 years since the 1987 film's debut. So we've got some time on this one, but they're putting in the work now. So they're probably going to be putting more work into this documentary than the crew put in on making Jaws the Revenge. So I wouldn't be surprised if the documentary is better than the film. An Indiegogo campaign is underway to help secure funds during pre-production. Perks range from digital and physical copies to producer credits and appearances in the movie. Guys, I'll include a link for the Indiegogo in the description down below if you want to hop on board and contribute to this film's campaign. Directed by Joseph Sargent, the fourth and final Jaws film follows Chief Brody's widow and her marine biologist son to the Bahamas, where they're targeted by a great white shark. Lorraine Gary reprised her role as Ellen Brody, starring alongside Lance Guest, Mario Van Peebles, Karen Young, and Michael Caine. And there we go. We've got our poster. So that's what that image of the shark comes from. I do like the little, the iced tea boozy drink there. It seems like they're going to be having some fun with this one. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm looking forward to it because it's 2 years away from being released, but I will watch this when it comes out for sure. And if you guys want me to, we can keep on covering it as more news comes out. But yeah, you can check the link in the description below for the Indiegogo campaign if you want to participate. And jump into the comments. Let me know. What's your favorite and least favorite moment from Jaws the Revenge? Are you a Jaws the Revenge defender? I still think the opening is awesome. I wish the whole movie was in Amity during Christmas. I think that would be so much better than going to the Bahamas, but then we wouldn't have this documentary here. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on Jaws the Revenge and on this documentary. And let me jump on over to see what you guys are saying. 26 chats. Holy cow. Let's see what we got here. And I want to see the shark movie. Can't think of the name of it. Dangerous Animals. Yeah, that one's good. Love Jaws and love all the Final Destination movies. Dangerous Animals is decent, better than okay, mostly entertaining. Yeah, I liked the weird stuff, Dean, but I've seen some really good valid criticism out there for Dangerous Animals, but I do think if you're a shark movie fan or you like isolation horror, I think it's worth watching in the theater. How bad do you hate Jaws the Revenge? It's got more shit in it than my hair. I don't know if I hate any movies. It's bad though. It's really bad. Like Dangerous Animals more than I thought I would. The 50th Jaws 4K comes out next week already and has one of the new documentaries on the movie. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because we're going to see some of the footage from the Alex Kittner. I think they filmed that kill either a couple times or like the first take didn't work. It was too violent. And I think we're finally going to see some of that footage. Yeah, it does look like an inflatable shark. Yeah. If that's not a pool. I just think it's probably AI for the cover there. Yeah. Let's see here. Saw Jaws of Revenge in the theater. Even at that age, I knew it was absolute crap. Oh, yeah. No, even when I was a kid, I knew it wasn't good, but I watched it because I was a kid and it was Jaws. So, watched all of them. I probably watched Jaws 3. Well, Jaws 3 and Jaws of Revenge way too much, guys. Let me just say that for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and keep things moving over here. Let me check on the poll and everything. 33 votes, 48% is for focused topical discussion. Guys, I think I'm going to close out the poll right there. So we're going to do a topical discussion on Friday the 13th. So thank you to everyone that voted. Again, really appreciate you guys that partook in the super chat goal for me to watch and review Ballerina. You guys are awesome. And if you haven't hit that like button, make sure to hit that like button. Okay. So this one, I saw this one come across the Bloody Disgusting page, and Paula Fitzhenry also sent it to me. So again, thank you, Paula, for always making sure that I don't miss out on any news. Okay, guys, Evil Dead in concert. Experience Sam Raimi's horror classic like never before in 50 cities this fall. This story comes to us by way of John Squires. And we've got Black Ink Presents, a division of Terrapin Station Entertainment and Sony Music Entertainment, today announced its next live-to-film production that resurrects Sam Raimi's beloved classic, The Evil Dead, in a way audiences have never seen before in this lifetime. An exciting fusion of film and live music, Evil Dead in Concert launches September 22nd in Buffalo, New York, as screams meet strings in nearly 50 cities this fall, including a special 3-night event in Los Angeles for Halloween. So yeah, guys, you can check out www.evildeadinconcert.com. I will include that link in the description below so you can see if this is coming to a city near you or if you're close enough to make the drive. The screening of the legendary cult film in a newly restored format is brought to life on stage while a live ensemble performs the entire original musical score from composer Joe LaDuca. Tickets go on sale this Friday, June 13th, but there's a pre-sale for the Bravest Souls tomorrow, June 11th. So don't miss out on that. Use pre-sale code Linda25. There you go. And they finish this off with a quote that says, "The ultimate horror movie concert experience has arrived with a night of cinematic chaos, demonic energy, and killer sounds," says John Kinzer, CEO of Black Ink Presents. Kinzer adds, quote, "It's not every day you get to watch someone chainsaw a demon while a live ensemble performs." So there we go. We all know about The Evil Dead, right? That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Easily my favorite horror franchise of all time. And even though Bloody Disgusting uses a picture from Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, I will let them off on that one. I'll be nice about it, because at first I thought this was going to be Evil Dead 2 because of the picture. And then as I read the article earlier today, I was like, oh, it's the original. The original is my favorite in the whole franchise. So hell yeah, hopefully it will be making its way to Phoenix. This is one of the biggest cities in the United States. I'm about a half hour away from downtown. I would love to be able to check this out. I love the soundtrack. I love how the movie is sort of like a classical piece. There are these, quiet moments and then these crescendos where everything just gets like so chaotic and so, that just reaches these massive peaks and then will immediately die down into a valley. Like, I love that about the original Evil Dead. I think experiencing the soundtrack, the score while watching the movie would be absolutely incredible. And especially a newly restored version of the film. I'm always curious to know what those look like. So this is something I'm really interested in. Maybe it's a little niche that it's Evil Dead. I don't know. But let me know in the comments if you're an Evil Dead fan and if you're a fan of these kinds of unique experiences. We've seen it with other movies like the Star Wars films and all that kind of stuff. Are you into watching this sort of thing with your horror? Are you into the Evil Dead and into it so much that you would want to see, a live orchestra perform the score? Let me know down in the comments. All right, let's see what you guys got for this. Now, the footage of the estuary guy being dragged by the shark with the Brody kid in his arms is pretty gruesome. Yeah, and the Kintner kill. I'm curious. I really can't wait to see that footage for sure. Yeah, if memory serves, they didn't use the original. Yeah, it is odd. The shark looked strange, and I've seen still images from that, but it looks like in this documentary we're gonna get the actual footage of that original kill. Which, yeah, I heard it didn't look great, but I also heard it was just a little too grim. Buffalo, that figures. Maybe I'll go. Yeah, how far away? How long of a drive is that for you, Jamie? Love being part of a pre-sale code. Yeah. Well, it's also Ash's girlfriend's name, so I think that's why they do it. Jason Takes Broadway would be killer. There you go. But you have to watch the first 2/3 of it are in Vancouver, and then you have to hop on a plane and go to Manhattan just to watch the last 20 minutes. That's the rules. Let's see here. Evil Dead concert, fuck yeah, that's a def must-see, says Linda. There you are. What's happening, Maxwell King? How you doing, Max? Great to see you, man. Thank you for jumping on into the live. Guys, Maxwell's got a channel here on YouTube as well. He just put together a Jaws ranking, maybe about, what was it, Max? Like a week and a half ago, something like that. I caught that one. One of our pals from across the pond. We got Eli Cortez popping into the chat, says, "What's up, Davey and the mighty Death Squad?" At work, just popping in to say hi. Yeah, Eli's one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. Thank you for jumping on in and saying what's up, Eli. Yeah, guys, don't forget to hit that like button, sub to this amazing channel. Consider becoming a member of the mighty Death Squad. There you go. Buffalo, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Yeah, it's not terrible. You just you and the hubby get a hotel room out there, you know, maybe even catch a Bills game on that same weekend. Might as well. Thank you for sharing that, Eli. Really appreciate you. Look at this. Even when Eli's at work, he's dropping links for people's channels. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, guys, go ahead and check out Maxwell King. And, you know, if you're digging what you see, throw him a sub. Why the heck not? Why not? Okay, guys, we've got 2 more stories here, and then I've got to bounce because I've got to finish getting ready for my work meeting. So we're going to wrap this up thusly. We've got a couple. This next one, I am really interested in this one. So let's see here. Okay, guys, Abraham's Boys, a Dracula story trailer has been released. And this Van Helsing's Sons takes center stage in a movie based on a Joe Hill story. Now, if you don't know who Joe Hill is, that is the pen name of Stephen King's son. So, you know, I believe he wrote The Black Phone. That's his original work. And here we go with Abraham's Boys. I watched the trailer earlier today. It looks pretty dang interesting here. Let me play it here for you guys. I'm going to make sure it's muted, just so you guys can take a look at it. It's got what's his name from Bosch? Let's see here. Titus Welliver from Bosch. So yeah, it's got this really interesting, you know, of course it's going to take place back then in Van Helsing's time. And we'll read a little bit about it here shortly. But yeah, it takes place in, the teens, the 19 teens. And I'm sure if you're familiar with who Van Helsing is in the Dracula story, you can imagine where a Van Helsing Van Helsing family movie could sort of go, right? So very, big time sense of foreboding here. He's trying to train his sons to deal with the evil. It seems like his wife has got some sort of sense that an evil entity is on its way. And other than that, it just kind of does your traditional trailer fare of trying to get you interested in checking out the film. But let's read a little bit about it, and you guys can check out the trailer in your own time if you would like. So this one comes to us by John Squires yet again. Says, Joe Hill's short story comes to the screen in Abraham's Boys, a Dracula story, a unique approach to Bram Stoker's horror classic from director Natasha Kermani, who directed Lucky. Abraham's Boys reimagines vampire lore through the eyes of Van Helsing's sons as they unravel their father's haunted legacy, blending gothic horror with a modern exploration of generational trauma. It's coming to theaters from RLJE Films and Shudder on July 11th, 2025. So this drops the same day as Superman. That's going to be a tough one, but this one, I'm interested. I'm interested enough to check out in the theaters. I've got the AMC A-list, so why the heck not? And you can watch the official trailer below. So in Abraham's Boys, a Dracula story, quote, Max and Rudy Van Helsing have spent their lives under the strict and overprotective rule of their father, Abraham. Unaware of his dark past, they struggle to understand his paranoia and increasingly erratic behavior. But when they begin to uncover the violent truths behind their father's history with Dracula, their world unravels, forcing them to confront the terrifying legacy they were never meant to inherit. So, yeah, guys, I think this one looks pretty good. You should check out the trailer. I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed The Black Phone, and I'm looking forward to the sequel. I don't know I can't remember right now, but I think that Joe Hill is working in conjunction with the folks on the Black Phone 2. I don't know if he wrote his own separate story for it, but I believe he is working on that film. He's part of the, part of the group there putting that together. And this one looks really, really damn solid. I'm kind of shocked that it's, releasing in just over a month, in like a month and a day. And this is like the first that I'm really hearing about it here. The article finishes up by saying, let's see here. Natasha Kermani says, it was a joy to bring Joe Hill's dark gothic story to the screen on location in California with a fantastic Los Angeles cast and crew. I'm so excited to now be able to share the film with audiences all over the world alongside my friends at RLJE Films and Shudder. We can't wait to bring Abraham's Boys to audiences and expand the Dracula legacy with a fresh and compelling perspective, is what RLJE Films Chief Acquisitions Officer Mark Ward had to say. And he finishes up by saying, Natasha Kermani has woven a gripping, character-driven horror story that drags Van Helsing's past into the light, whether his sons are ready for it or not. I like that. Gripping, character-driven story. If you guys know anything about me, I really love when, character arcs and the characters are the ones pushing and driving the story forward. So I'm looking forward to this one. Vampire movies aren't in my top 2 or even 3 favorite subgenre of horror films, but this one has got like a little bit of a different tilt on it to where I'm intrigued. So yeah, I would recommend at least checking out the trailer and, check it. If you've got one of those Regal memberships or AMC A-list or whatever, when you're done with Superman, just hop on into a theater and check out Abraham's Boys, A Dracula Story, and then we can have a conversation about it. But let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in this one. Are you a vampire movie kind of person? I'm always curious to know, which subgenres are folks' favorite subgenres in horror. So let me know in the comments, guys. All right. And what about you folks in the chat? Are you guys pumped on this? Is this like, What do you think? What do you think? Tell me. Tell me now. Let's see here. If you drive anywhere in the Southwest, 2 hours is nothing. Yeah, it's 45 minutes just to get to work for me. Nice. Thank you so much, Max. Appreciate you. And look at that. Jamie subbed. Ashton subbed. Boom. There we go. Eli as well. Hell yeah. Yeah, Black Phone 2 looks really good for sure. Yes, Manny. Luc Besson has a Dracula project with Caleb Landry Jones as Dracula. I did watch that trailer. I should have, for whatever reason, I didn't think to bring that one up. That one's coming out in just like a couple weeks, I think, like the end of this month. My favorite vampire movies are the ones that take a unique tack. Near Dark, 30 Days a Night, Martin. Oh, I love Martin. Oh my God, I love Martin so much, Todd. How many Dracula films do we need, though? Says Gina. Yeah, and I don't know. I guess they are sort of giving away that it is Dracula. I always just assumed it was like another powerful vampire. But maybe it is, or maybe it's something totally different. I didn't show the whole trailer, but as the trailer goes on, and especially if you're listening to the dialogue and everything, maybe there is something, more than meets the eye that's going on here. The Lost Boys will probably always be my favorite vampire movie. That's a really good pick. What's the scariest Dracula movie out there? Scariest? I don't know. None of them really scare me. I'm trying to think of, Bram Stoker's Dracula has like the scariest looking Dracula. I don't know. I always really like the Bela Lugosi version. Yeah. Paula, you sent a whole bunch of these. Yeah, thank you so much. Linda subbed to Max. Look at that. Max, you're getting a nice little bump there. Love it. Now it's time to go put out some primo content, right? Now that you got some new folks following you. Okay, let me see here. We got one more story, guys, and then I've got to wrap things up so I can get ready for work. And this one is just kind of a nerdy thing for me, so we don't need to spend a whole bunch of time on it. I'm going to grab a sip of water before I go any further. I'm quite parched. Okay. So guys, this one is super nerdy and, a bit personal to me, I guess, or near and dear to my heart. This Island Earth is turning 70. And according to Alex DiVincenzo here from Bloody Disgusting, saying that Universal's Technicolor monster movie deserves more love. And why is this movie important to me? Well, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is my favorite television show of all time. It changed the way that I looked at life. To me, Mystery Science Theater is kind of like a philosophy on life, because you've got this man that's been trapped in space by an evil scientist, and he's forced to watch these terrible movies. So what does he do to deal with it? He takes parts from the ship and he builds robot friends to watch the bad movies with him, and they make fun of the movies. That's the basic premise of the show. And after watching the show for like 15 years or whatever, I realized, I was like, this is a philosophy on life. Our lives are the bad movies we have to watch. And Mystery Science Theater taught me that the best approach to it is surround yourself with family, friends, loved ones, and don't take yourself or life too seriously. Make fun of the bad movie that is your life as a way to cope and deal with it, and not be driven crazy, because life will drive you crazy. I mean, if you're alive long enough, it'll drive you crazy at least once or twice. So when Mystery Science Theater was at the height of its popularity, they decided to do a motion picture event. They were gonna, go out into the theaters and have a higher budget approach to what they did, and they wanted to pick a movie that was easy to make fun of, but also a tried and true classic that was a high budget film. So they picked This Island Earth, which was, a big time Universal film. It came out in the 50s, but it was in beautiful color. And so this movie, even though it's kind of cheesy, there is something about it where there are these crowning achievements in the film. It's not technically a bad film, although it is a bit cheesy and worth making fun of for sure. So the article here goes on to say, This Island Earth celebrates its 70th anniversary today, June 10th, if you're watching after the fact. It premiered in New York City on June 10th, 1955, before officially opening 5 days later, but it still doesn't receive the respect it deserves in the annals of science fiction. At a glance, the pulpy space opera may appear to typify 50s schlock, a reputation exacerbated by being the subject of Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie. A closer look, however, reveals that much of the film goes against the grain for sci-fi of the era, helping to lay the groundwork for those to come. Based on the 1952 novel by Raymond F. Jones, This Island Earth is directed by Joseph M. Newman, who worked on The Twilight Zone, with uncredited contributions by Jack Arnold from from the Black Lagoon, and written by Franklin Cohen and George Callahan. The movie gets a lot right when it comes to its genre elements, from socio-political commentary, thinly veiled as it may be, with atomic energy casually discussed in the opening scene, to a memorable monster with the Metaluna mutant acting as a late addition to the classic Universal monster lineage. So guys, this article is pretty long. It goes into talk more about the plot and everything like that. It goes on, there's pictures and everything like that. I'm not going to sit here and make you listen to me read every little thing from this classic science fiction film, This Island Earth from 1955. But you can tell that Alex DiVincenzo is very proud of this one. There's a cute little shot there of the Blu-ray with the Metaluna mutant, a couple of those figurines there. If you guys have never seen this movie, and even if you're not interested, I recommend watching Mystery Science Theater, the movie, because you'll get to watch the movie and have it get poked fun at, which is a damn good time. But yeah, of course, you can go on over to Bloody Disgusting and read the rest of the article if you'd like, but I just wanted to touch on that really quick, that, This Island Earth is celebrating 70 years. So let me know in the comments, are you an OG This Island Earth fan? Were you brought over to the movie because of Mystery Science Theater 3000? Are you asking yourself, what the hell is Mystery Science Theater 3000? I still don't understand what this guy's talking about. Let me know in the comments below, and we'll get that conversation going, guys. All right. News is done, y'all. Let's go on back over to here. You can actually see right there, that's the Mystery Science Theater, the movie poster, and it uses some of the imagery from This Island Earth. They just basically used the This Island Earth poster and put their logo on top of it. So let me get rid of that. There we go. Hop on over here. And yeah, guys, I have to wrap things up fairly soon, but I do want to jump into the chat and see what's going on. There it is. Well, you have to be... Yeah, you know what, Jordan, you're right. Eli, even though you're at work, could you please share Jordan's link? Or Jamie, you can share Jordan's link. Let's see here. Sorry, Jordan. Sometime with these live streams where it's like I'm trying to get through the news and everything, and I've got a time pinch, I totally will, we'll miss it. Where was your super chat at, Antonis? So, Antonis, I will get to this. I'm getting to everything here. I had missed it because when I'm doing the news, I want to make sure that I'm, getting through those stories, because I'm going to cut up the stories and put them out as separate videos. So I had just missed it because I was reading a news story here. Will we see any other kills in the documentary besides Alex's kill? I don't know. I don't know what's on the cutting room floor that they have never shown us before. So I would imagine that that's not going to be the only unseen footage, because I think the original documentary they put out was called The Shark Is Still Working, and that's been out, man, I think that documentary has been out like 30 years almost. So this is the first time we've gotten like a brand new Jaws documentary, and I'm sure we're going to hear some of the same like anecdotes, same stories. I would imagine a handful of them. But yeah, I'm hoping we get to see more footage like Quint in the movie theater, laughing at Moby Dick. I hope we see a little bit of, like, more of that. And yeah, if there's any other footage of the kills, like I can't remember who it was. Was it Todd that had said it earlier? The scout master, holding on to not Sean Brody. What's his face? The older son, Mike. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that. Maybe they've cleaned that stuff up a little bit too. Those are things I've seen little images of before, and maybe, film footage before, but hopefully we just get more of it. But I don't think there are any other kills they shot that they didn't use. But hopefully they give us a whole bunch of unseen footage. And thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Antonis. Really appreciate you, bud. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Oh yeah, John Carpenter's Vampires is really good. Yeah, I dig that one. Let's see here. Thank you so much, Jamie. Really appreciate you. Yeah, guys, check out Jordan Decker's channel, Horror on Tap. His latest episode is covering Christine, which we watched just a couple weeks ago here on the channel, and it was a first-time watch for Jordan. So I think a lot of the movies you've been covering, or all the movies you've been covering, first-time watches for you, Jordan. Let us know in the chat. But yeah, go support our guy. Jordan is hilarious. He's become somebody that I consider a friend because I've hopped on so many video calls with him and a handful of other crazies. We're all crazies. Yeah, really dig that he's got his channel up and running. So guys, if you've not gone over and subbed to Horror on Tap, that is Jordan Decker's channel. He is a great channel member over here and a channel member all over the place within the horror YouTube community, and has earned and deserves our support and love. And there you go, Eli sharing it also. Boom. Linda subbed. There you go. We got one sub. Maxwell sub. There it is. Hell yeah. Okay, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for me because I have a work meeting in less than an hour and a half, and I want to be able to get a little chill time in and finish getting all ready for it. But I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me this afternoon on a, unannounced live stream here to cover some news. Look forward to these at least once a week. Now, if we get like a new story or two and I just want to jump on and cover those stories, yes, I'll just jump on and cover that story, and it'll be a really quick live just so I can get something out on it. But yeah, this is fun. I like doing the news. I like covering it more with you guys. Let me know what you guys think about having the stories, cut up and released individually. It seems like the viewership has been pretty good on those, and the engagement has been pretty good as well. And I would imagine for the folks that missed the live stream, it's a really easy way to just get the news that they care about. And like I said earlier, hopefully it brings new people to the channel as well. And before you guys head out, though, tomorrow night, Late Night with the Davey, episode 47, we've got Mark of Tales from the Shelf and Vincent DeSanti from Womp Stomp Films and Never Hike Alone. They're going to be on Late Night with the Davey. We are going to end the debate on which film is better, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, or Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. We have 8 categories. Each category is going to be, like, each one of us is going to make one of the films the winner of each category, and you guys in the chat are going to get to vote on each category as well. So you're going to be directly involved with the outcome. I'm super pumped to get this going, and it was really fun last time with Terminator and T2 to have you guys involved in the outcome. So I'm really excited for Final Chapter and Jason Lives as a ramp up to Friday the 13th, this coming Friday. Keep an eye out for a poll on the page, guys. I'm going to list some topics that we can discuss for Friday the 13th. You're going to want to vote on that, and that will guide our conversation for our Friday the 13th stream. That's probably going to be earlier on in the day, so the folks in the UK can join us, and also some folks here stateside can join us late afternoon, early evening. And then this weekend, keep an eye out for me and Trisha McMasters, because we're going to be talking The Collector. We're going to do a live review and discussion. So I'm really excited for that. More on that later. But as always, guys, if you're not subbed, make sure you are. Click that like button if you haven't already. Comment if you're watching after the fact, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. And hey, if you don't have the notification bell hit, you're going to want to do that. It's going to let you know when I'm going live so you don't miss any of that. And it's going to give you a heads up on my shorts and on my short videos, and when I drop a new pre-recorded video as well. Big shout out to all the Patreon members and the channel members as well. You guys are awesome. You make doing this channel so much damn fun. I know I owe the members a stream, and keep an eye out for that. One will be coming. And thank you so much to our Death Squad mods. You guys are awesome. You keep everything safe, and you know what? You guys keep on sharing all the other channels of the fine folks that come on in here that create content themselves, and I love that. Keep it up, guys. You are all awesome. I will see you guys tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for Late Night with the Davey, episode 47. You guys know the drill. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Death Ray. Take care.